It has been the scandal making headlines and one that has rocked the world of Hollywood and the mega rich. Payments of millions of dollars in some situations reportedly changing hands to get the children of the elite into the best colleges and universities, what some critics now say that money can buy. These headlines are playing out in homes all across the country for the nearly 3 million high school seniors applying to get into college. The Princeton Review has a way to ease some of the stress in latest survey that they talk about, where they're focusing on college hopes and worries. Here with the breakdown is its editor-in-chief, Robert Franick. Rob, it's always good to see you.
Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for inviting me.
It's a delight to talk with you, and you always give us a great understanding of what's going on out there.
Thank you.
I'm going to start with the survey that you did.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to explain how many people, because I was certainly impressed by the number of people and from where.
Yeah.
This is not just a couple of people you were talking to. Tell me about the nature, the extent of the survey.
Absolutely. And the survey is called College Hopes and Worries. This is our 17th year annually doing this survey, and it was just shy of 12,000 college-bound students and their parents completing the survey this year. And the idea behind it is if we can figure out where students' hopes are and their parents' hopes are, then it's kind of an easy putt to get them there. But if you can understand where they're scared, where they're worried, where they're stressed, then we can have a conversation of substance to help diffuse some of that frenzy.
I'm going to sort of go to the bottom of my list, the notion of the stress level.
Yeah.
What did the survey find in terms of the stress level for this cohort, if you will, of high school seniors?
Yeah, it is extreme. And again, it's more extreme this year than it has been these last several years. So it's 73% of those nearly 12,000 college-bound students and their parents said that they were either stressed or very stressed about the college process. And that's interesting, because since we've been doing this survey for so long, we looked to compare it to 2003 numbers, and it was 53%. So we know that there's been a huge rise in just stress around the college process in some component parts.
And you're not talking about mild stress. You're talking about people saying significantly stressed or, relatively significantly stressed.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the factors that enter into it.
Yep.
We talk about hopes and dreams and worries.
Yep.
So when you asked about, okay, what are your hopes now coming out? What was the significant finding for that?
What I loved about it, and this is a lot of students, as I've been saying, and their parents, 99% of whom said college is worth it, but it is worth it for two very specific reasons. One, that they're going to get a better career of substance upon graduation, and that their school is going to be a better fit for them, academically, campus culture, financial aid, and career services. The interesting thing is that only a little bitty 9% said it was academic reputation that was most important.
That's interesting. And I think that would be surprising to me. Was that surprising to you also?
I am always heartened by it. And over the last 5 years, it's been fairly consistent. And I am always surprised by it. But particularly, I do a lot of talks for college-bound students and their parents. But when I tell them that data, they're like, oh my gosh, this is interesting. Because it's the question of what's going to be the return on my investment academically if I'm a student, and the return on my investment if I'm a student and parent paying for it. So you have to understand there's going to be some return on your investment after graduation.
Are you finding generally that the parents might have a different view than the students when the students are saying, look, it's not the name that's as important to me, it's the fit. That's most important to me.
It's been eerily similar between them. There's 1 or 2 percentage points off of those things. Now, probably not uncommon. What we have found, sort of disparate answers is that parents want their kids to go closer to home, 250 miles or less. Kids want to go 250 miles or more. Right. That's stuff that we could probably assume. But when it comes to the value of college, they are very similar. And I like that because that means they're getting good college counseling in their high schools. And ultimately, they're having a conversation of substance with somebody from the admission team.
We talk about worry. Top of the list for worry for them is?
It is incurring too much debt to pay for college, and this has been solidly number one for the last five years. It is not surprising. The level of debt between public and private schools is just about $30,000. But when I ask students and parents, they loft it up to $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. Some of those students fearing that they're going to take on debt, but not persist, not succeed, so not have an undergraduate degree.
Right. And how about the role of financial aid? What are they thinking in terms of either worries or fears or hopes?
Yeah. 90% solidly said that financial aid was going to be necessary, very necessary, or extremely necessary for them to afford school. So we understand that if there's concern about debt, then it goes in hand with the idea of financial aid being necessary for the process, which I think is fine, particularly if the conversation that they have with schools or part of their research process. What I love about this survey is that this is what students are thinking about now and their parents. It's not saying, if I go to this college, I'm going to will that this is going to happen, or I'm going to hope that this is going to happen. Saying, this is part of the factors that I'm considering for fit in choosing that particular school.
Are you getting a sense, as a consequence of your involvement in this, that the schools are more cognizant of these fears and that they're doing things to help these incoming students allay these fears in some fashion?
There are many, many schools that are bringing career services and career development into the general conversation that they have with students early on in the college process, whether that's at a college fair or a campus open house date. You know, I tell students that I visit more colleges than I'm convinced any other person on the planet. But if I'm not hearing that conversation of how are internships, co-ops, experiential learning, career services in general tied to my undergraduate experience from first year in college till last, that's what I want to hear, and that's what students and parents are asking to hear. And so many schools are serving it up early on. Some are not, but many are.
Let me shift focus for a minute, because we talked about the scandal that's out
my
there.
word,
And you said you've been in this world for a lot of years now.
Yeah.
First of all, were you surprised by it?
I am surprised by the extent of this scandal, and I am just deeply, deeply upset. My full team of the Princeton Review, are deeply upset about this process and how it can go on. The thing is, it is cheating, and it is cheating in two ways: cheating on the SAT and ACT, and cheating on academic admission. So those things are inherently surprising to me. What's not surprising is that there is stress around the process, and people place such brand prestige and weight in some of the schools that were, sort of involved in this, or the schools themselves not involved, but the schools that they were applying to were involved. So that does not surprise me. The stress level, as we talked about, but the brand perception that these schools are going to guarantee me a better life or a more successful future. There's 3,000 four-year colleges out there.
Yeah.
And
there's schools, and I said this to my own kids. I said, look, there are plenty of schools where you can do marvelously and prepare you wonderfully for your life. Last question, I guess, for you. This.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need a crisis to make us sit back and think about doing things differently. Do you think this might have some impact on all the stress levels out there and this sort of myopic focus that says there's only one good school that my child can go to? Do you think it might have an impact?
I really do think it will, and I think the way college admission will change because of this cheating scandal is that there'll be much more visibility in the process, and I think we're going to hear it from those handful of schools that were somehow involved in the names of those schools, but I think we're going to hear it from deans and directors of admission, admission counselors, college presidents and university chancellors from many schools saying, let us provide you more visibility, because if you're saying that this is typical, you're not surprised, then we should remind you, this is a human business. There are quantitative metrics, SAT and ACT scores, high school GPA, but this is a human process. Character, grit, perseverance, as we've talked about in the past, are so part and parcel of this process. But we're going to need to hear that over the next year and years, because this is going to tectonically change.
I got to tell you, even from the time when my kids were young, the Princeton Review, that's a marvelous resource for people. And the different surveys that you do are so helpful for folks to do when they're assessing all this process. Rob, it's always good to talk to you.
Good to see you, my
friend.
We'll talk again. Thanks for the opportunity.
You be well.
Yeah.